A very good morning, my dear students. Hope you all are safe and healthy. Stay home, stay safe. Welcome back to our 9th standard social studies, third lesson, hydrosphere. Children, in the previous class, live class, you have studied hydrosphere and hydrological cycle. Once again, revise our previous lesson. Hydrological cycle. Water is a cyclic renewable resource. It can be used and reused. Yes, the water cycle has been going for billions of years and all the life on the earth depends on it. Hydrological cycle is a circulation of water in different forms, that is liquid, solid and gaseous. It also refers to the continuous exchange of water between the oceans, atmosphere, land surface and subsurface, and also all the living organisms. There are 6 stages in the water cycle: evaporation, transportation, condensation, precipitation, runoff and groundwater. Children, once again revise 6 stages of the water cycle. Evaporation. Water is transferred from the surface of the earth to the atmosphere through evaporation. The process by which water change from liquid to gas. So, sun's warmth heats up and evaporates the water from the earth's surface. Next, transportation. The movement of water through the atmosphere, specifically from over the oceans to over land in the form of clouds, is called transportation. Clouds are transport from one place to another by either upper air circulation or surface based circulations like land breeze and sea breeze. Understand, children? Clouds are transport from one place to another place by upper air circulation or land breeze or sea breeze. Next, condensation. The transported water vapor eventually condenses, forming tiny droplets and clouds. Precipitation. The primary mechanisms for transporting water from the atmosphere to the surface of the earth is precipitation. So, when the clouds meet cool air over the land, precipitation in the form of rain, sleet or snow. Understand? Next, runoff water. Most of the water which returns to lands flow down the hills as runoff. So, some of it penetrates into the land and charges the groundwater while the rest, as the rivers flow, returns to the oceans where it evaporates. Groundwater. Groundwater special circumstances, groundwater can even flow upwards in wells. The flow of groundwater is much slower than runoff water. Understand, children? So, the hydrological cycle is not a simple process of circulation of water between oceans, atmosphere and the land. There are a number of sub-cycles operating with it. Next topic, oceans. The vast body of salt water that covers a considerable portion of the earth's surface is called as an ocean. So, the vast water bodies are called oceans. There are 3 major oceans: the Pacific, the Atlantic and the Indian. But the waters of Arctic and Antarctic are also described as oceans. These 5 oceans are not separate areas of water, but form one continuous oceanic mass. Relief of the ocean. The ocean basins are in many ways similar to the land surface. there are submarine ridges, plateaus, canyons found within oceans. Ocean floor is divided into 4 parts. Understand, children? Ocean floor divided into 4 parts. Continental shelf, continental slope, deep sea plain, and oceanic deep trenches. Continental shelf. Continental shelf with a depth of up to 200 meters occupies about 7.6% of the ocean area. It is the bordered zone between the land and sea. Understand, children? Continental shelf means it is the bordered zone between land and sea. So the largest continental shelf is Siberian shelf in the Arctic Ocean. Continental shelf is important because fish wealth is more in this region, and crude oil, natural gas are found here, and building seaport is possible here. Next, continental slope. The continental slope is spread from 200 meters to 3000 meters depth with a complex relief. It comprises of 15% of the ocean area. The continental slope boundary indicates the continents. Next, deep sea plains. Deep sea plains are gently sloping areas of the ocean basins. These are the flattest and smoothest regions of the world. Understand, children? Deep sea plains are the flattest and smoothest regions of the world. Next, oceanic deeps are trenches. These are large narrow trenches that plunge as a great oceanic deeps to a depth of 6,000 meters. Contrary to our expectations, most of the deepest trenches are not located in the midst of oceans. They are found more close to the continents. Understand, children? Oceanic trenches are found more closer to the continents. So, that is why they are very significant in the study of plate movements. Next, salinity of the ocean. Children, have you ever wondered why the oceans are filled with salt water instead of fresh water? Where did the salt come from? And is it the same salt you find on your dining room? Yes, most of the salt in the oceans come from land. Over millions of years, rain, rivers and streams have washed over rocks containing the compound of sodium chloride. So, and carried it into the sea. You may know sodium chloride by its common name, table salt. Understand, children? Sodium chloride. Common name is table salt. Some of the salt in the oceans comes from undersea volcanoes and hydrothermal vents. So, salinity is the term used to define the total content of dissolved salt in seawater. Understand, children? Salinity is the term used to define the total content of dissolved salt in seawater. So, it is usually expressed as PPT. PPT means parts per thousands. So, factors affecting salinity on the surface layers of the oceans. What are the factors? Evaporation and precipitation. In coastal region, by the fresh water flow from rivers, and in polar regions by the process of freezing and thawing of ice, and winds by transferring water to other areas. Next, the ocean currents. So, isohalines. Isohalines means a line joining the points in the ocean having the same degree of salinity. This is one more important question. Ocean currents. What are ocean currents? They are streams of water moving along surface of the ocean in definite path. The general movement of a mass of water in a fairly defined direction over a great distance. The ocean currents are sometimes called ocean rivers. Based on temperature, ocean currents can be broadly divided into two categories: warm currents, cold currents. Warm currents, which flow from the lower latitude in tropical zones towards the high latitudes in the temperate zone and subpolar zones. That is, they move from equator towards the poles and they brings warm water into the cold water area. Now cold currents, they have a lower surface temperature and brings cold water into warm water areas. These currents flow in the high latitude from the polar region towards the lower latitude, that is towards the equatorial region. The ocean currents divided into two categories, that is stream and drift, based on their speed. The ocean currents which flows speedily is called a stream and that which slowly is called drift. Surface currents constitute about 10% of all the water in the ocean and lies at the upper 400 meters of the ocean. Deep water current make up the other 90% of the ocean water. These water move around the ocean basin. Deep water sink into deep ocean basins at high latitude where the temperature are cold because density to increase. Causes of ocean currents: level of salinity, temperature, earth rotation, land, planetary winds. See the level of salinity. It means amount of salt present in the water salinity of generally affected by the inflow of fresh water from the rivers, melting ice and rainfalls and evaporation. For example, high rate of evaporation in the Mediterranean Sea increases the salinity. Therefore, density also increases. As a result, the currents of less dense, less salt water flow into Mediterranean Sea from the Atlantic and the Black Sea. Temperature is higher near the Atlantic and Mediterranean Sea. Next one, temperature. Temperature is higher at the equator than the poles. Hence, the water near the equatorial region is heated more than that near the poles. This unequal heating sets up convectional currents in the oceans. The warm water of the equatorial region are light, moving along the surface towards the poles region where they are cold. The cold water is dense and heavy. It sinks down towards from the surface and moves slowly towards to the equator, where on warming up it may rise to the surface again. Next one, earth rotation. Earth rotates from west to east. First of all, the speed of earth maximum at the equator, that is around 1660 kilometers per hour. All moving bodies, that is winds, ocean currents in clockwise direction in the northern hemisphere and anti-clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere. Example, if we take Canary currents and Gulf streams in the northern hemisphere, they are moving clockwise direction, whereas the Brazilian and Bengaluru in southern hemisphere, they are moving anti-clockwise directions. Planetary winds also play a dominant role on the flow of the ocean currents. Now the names of the winds: trade winds, westerlies and monsoon winds. Trade winds blow between the equator and the tropics. These winds move equatorial water polewards and westwards. And south equatorial currents warms up the eastern coasts of Brazil and warm Brazilian current. North equatorial currents and south equatorial currents are Brazilian currents. Now, westerlies. Westerlies blow in the temperate latitudes and result in the northern easterly flow of water in the northern hemisphere and opposite in the southern hemisphere. The westerlies force the warm Gulf Stream to the western coast of Europe as the North Atlantic drift because the cold west winds drift to flow towards the equator as the Peru currents along the South America and Bengal currents along South Africa. Next one, monsoon winds. The strongest influence of winds of the prevention winds on the flow of currents seen in the North Indian Ocean. Due to the monsoon winds, the direction of the currents change from southwest in summer to the northeast in the winter. Because over India, these are two main winds, that is southwest monsoon wind and northeast monsoon wind. Next one, land. Landmass abstract the flow of water of an ocean current diverts its movements. For example, equatorial currents divide into two branches. One joins the north equatorial current and other becomes the Brazilian currents. Ocean as a resource. Ocean as a resource. Most life on the earth is under the water. Human beings have depended on oceans for their food and livelihood from the ancient time. Oceans provided abundant food resources like fish and salt. We also use the sand, gravel, etc. So, humans extract minerals like chlorine, fluorine, iodine from it. So, oceans also provide us with gems and pearls. So, how are the oceans useful to mankind? Oceans are storehouse for fish. Since early times, man depend on the oceans for food, and oceans are sources for rainfalls. Oceans act as international highways, and rock, petroleum, natural gas are extracted under oceans. Oceans are mined for minerals, salt, sand, gravel, manganese, copper, etc. So, yet today, oceans have also fallen victim to our exploitation. Many large fish like whales have been disappeared. Oceans have also become dumping ground for plastic and other forms of toxic waste. Okay children, hope you all understood the topic hydrosphere, hydrological cycle, and oceans, relief of the oceans, and salinity of the oceans, and ocean currents, and ocean as a resource. Okay, my dear students, on Saturday there will be slip test on first lesson. Prepare these topics: our earth, our universe, the sun and the earth, internal structure of the earth, crust, mantle, core, and movements of the earth crust, latitudes and longitudes, and the question of time. Okay, thank you.